നമ്മുടെ ഈ ദിവസത്തെ വചന ശുശ്രൂഷയ്ക്കായിട്ട് ക്രമീകരിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡോക്ടർ ജേക്കബ് മാത്യു അച്ഛനാണ്. അച്ഛൻ ഫ്ലോറിഡ സെന്റ് പോൾസ് ഇടവകയുടെ വികാരിയാണ്. അതോടൊപ്പം നമ്മുടെ ഭദ്രാസനത്തിന്റെ സൺഡേ സ്കൂളിന്റെ ഡയറക്ടറായിട്ട് അച്ഛൻ ശുശ്രൂഷ ചെയ്യുന്നു. അച്ഛൻ ഈ സൺഡേ സ്കൂൾ പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തിന്റെ ഡയറക്ടറായിട്ട് ചാർജ് എടുത്തതിന് ശേഷം സൺഡേ സ്കൂൾ പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തിന് വളരെയധികം ഒരു ഉണർവ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം അച്ഛനുമായിട്ട് സംസാരിച്ചപ്പോഴും അത് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തു. വളരെയധികം ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ്, പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഈ കോവിഡ് സമയത്ത് പല കാര്യങ്ങളിലും അവർ ചെയ്യുവാനായിട്ട് ശ്രമിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതിന് ആളുകളുടെ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേഷനും ഉണ്ടാകുന്നുണ്ട്. വളരെ സന്തോഷത്തോടെ ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി അച്ഛൻ നമ്മുടെ ഇടവകയിൽ ഒരു റിട്രീറ്റ് നടത്തുവാനായിട്ട് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അച്ഛനെ വളരെ സന്തോഷത്തോടുകൂടി ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി St.Gregorios ഹോസ്റ്റൽ ഇടവകയിലേക്ക് വെൽക്കം ചെയ്യുന്നു.
So let me go to the next slide. The name of the story is A Saint in the Wrong Place, and this story is written by Paulo Coelho. Most of you know Paulo Coelho. I assume he is a Spanish writer from Spain, and such a great known writer. And this story is from his pen. Once upon a time, there was a man who had been the soul of kindness all his life. And when he died, everyone assumed that he would go straight to heaven. Naturally, that is how we assume, right? When a great good person dies, that person is going to go to heaven straight. But you know what happened? Because that was the only place for him, like a good man as he was, and that should be paradise. The man wasn't particularly bothered about going to heaven, but that was where he went. Now, in those days, service in heaven was not all that it might be. The reception desk was extremely inefficient, and the angel who received him gave only a cursory glance through the index cards before her, and when she couldn't find the man's name, she sent him straight to hell. And in hell, no one asks to check your badge or your invitation, for anyone who turns up is invited in. The man entered and stayed. Some days later, Lucifer stormed up to the gates of heaven to demand an explanation from St. Peter. "What you're doing is pure terrorism," he said. "You send that man down into hell, and he is completely undermining me. Right from the start, there he was listening to people, looking them in the eye, talking to them. And now everyone's sharing their feelings and hugging and kissing. That's not the sort of thing I want in hell. Please let him go into heaven." Let me stop the story right here. I will come back. I will come back later. Dearly beloved, what does the story tell us? Is there a possibility like we being greeted in heaven in a shabby way? This is a story, so there is nothing to take seriously out of that, out of the literary explanation there. And also, heaven and paradise are equated here, which is also not orthodox. Let me tell you. Heaven is heaven, paradise is paradise. They are not equal. Because heaven is a place which no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no heart or mind has envisaged. Whereas paradise has been seen by a man. Human eyes have seen paradise. Because Adam was in paradise. And Eve was in paradise. That's where they sinned. And therefore, in the Orthodox understanding, there is no comparison. There is no one-to-one equality between paradise and heaven. That's one thing I really want all of you to know. But what does the story tell us? The story is telling us that the saintly man went into hell. And there, he was listening to people, looking them in the eye, talking to them, and everyone is sharing their feelings and hugging and kissing. Dearly beloved, this is the difference but between a holy place and a cursed place, where people are encouraged, are empowered to look right into the eye and listening to each other, talking to each other, encouraging everyone to share their feelings. I'll tell you something. Right now I'm going to talk about adults. I know Sunday school children are here. I'll talk about the adults. If I'm engaging a conversation with you, the way the conversation is going to go like this. You live in Austin and I live in Orlando. I don't know what the weather is like in Austin today. What was the temperature there today? Somebody unmute and say, please, what was the temperature like today? $60 degrees? After getting snow and stuff?
74 degrees.
It was 74 today? Good. You start talking to me about temperature. It is 74 degrees today. The weather was so good, you say to me. And what do you expect me to say back to you? Try that conversation in your heart for a fraction of a second. What would you expect me to say? Somebody, please come up. You're allowed to unmute and speak. Okay, let's reverse it. I'm telling you, it was 85 degrees here in Orlando today. No, it was not 85 today. It was about 70, 76, something like that. I'm saying to you, it was 74 degrees today in Orlando. What would be your response to me? Come on, somebody.
We will tell you the weather here.
Exactly. I am telling you, it was 74 degrees here, and immediately the way you are going to respond to me is all about the weather there. Now let's make the conversation a little deeper. I'm telling you, I had an accident yesterday and my car got totaled. What would be your response?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. But then, if you tell me that you had an accident and the car got totaled, my response naturally is going to be a story about something similar that has happened to me. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever noticed that? This is how we are. We are kind of hardwired to tell people stories. And I am telling you my story and you are telling me your story. What happens there is, what misses there is listening to each other. And that is something that heaven is. In heaven, people listen. Dearly beloved, hell is where nobody listens. In heaven, people listen. 99% of problems that happen in the world is happening because we listen to respond and we do not listen to, we do not listen. As soon as we start hearing something, we plan something in our hearts, in our minds to respond. This saintly man going into hell, and he started listening to people. So that is the good thing that we can do in our lives. When children come home from school, the face is down, the heart is broken, the shoulder is down, and the gaze is down. What should we do? We have to let the children speak to us. The children should be encouraged, and children should have the courage. The children should be comfortable, confident to narrate the story to us. So that is all about children and the adults. When it comes to children, a lot of bullying happening in the schools because nobody wants to listen. The bullies, my dearly beloved children, tell me, have you ever been bullied in school? Nobody? Nobody got bullied in school?
If they are in public school, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know what? Many children do not even want to speak about that because they do not share those kind of things with their parents many times.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of name calling happens in school. A lot of injuries happen in school because the bullies do not want to listen. And therefore, my dearly beloved children, if you ever have scars in you, if you ever feel hurt within you, there is a person right next to you, your mom,
your
dad, and your action.
And $1,000 and then
You can go there. You can talk about your wounds, your injuries. And dearly beloved, whenever someone comes to us, start sharing their feelings. Instead of narrating your story to them, let them narrate their stories to you. That is heaven. That is called listening. That is the first thing happen in heaven. Secondly, when we feel uncomfortable, you know what we do? The gaze goes down. We avoid eye contact. Think of somebody with whom we had a difference of opinion or with whom we had a little fight. We don't want to look into their eyes, right? We don't want to see their face, right? Do we? Children, tell me, you had a little fight with your brother. How do you look at his face then? No. Until you are good with him, no, we don't want to look at his face. Makle, that is where the heaven is missing. Let us look into each other's eyes and have a smile. That is heaven. And finally, having the courage, having the confidence to tell our feelings. In my school today, I felt sad. It was a horrible day. Feel encouraged to speak what has happened in school with your parents, with your loved ones, and with your Achan. Your Achan is always a loving person, caring person. Talk to him. That is what you can do. That is how we make heaven on earth. In the Lenten times, what I really want is that we create this confidence between each other. The deeper confidence, even deeper confidence. Let me tell you a story. Beg your pardon. Let me tell you a story. In Texas, in one of the universities there, a professor, she's a well-known, world-famous person, and her daughter, going to 3rd grade, one day she comes back home and says, I don't want to see your face. I don't want to talk to you, Mom. The 3rd grade child. And the mother, she being so kind, she started talking with her. What do you do not want to talk to me? And the child being so innocent said, I don't want to talk to you about what has happened in school today. And the mother said, if you don't want to talk to me, that's okay. But I am always willing to listen to you. And I know you don't want to talk to me, but I love you. And if you are okay with it, I'd like to give you a hug. She went ahead and gave her a hug. You know what? Those words opened a floodgate. The child cried. And the mother didn't say a thing. She kept on hugging the daughter, and the daughter kept on crying for about 3-4 minutes. At the end, the mother gave her a kiss right at the forehead and said, I love you. And the child started speaking. The child said, somebody called me names today. You know what? This is the kind of place where heaven is. We love our children and the children love us back. We create an atmosphere of comfort with each other. That is heaven. Where hugging and kissing is happening. And here is the next thought I want to see. Live your life with so much love in your heart that if by mistake you were sent to hell, the devil himself would deliver you up to paradise. Let me repeat the statement one. If you live your life with so much love in your heart that if you by mistake were sent to hell, the devil himself would deliver you to paradise, because the devil does not want anybody living with love. Dearly beloved, let me tell you another story. And the story is about the Good Samaritan. All of you know the story, right? Very good. Very good. Many children know the story. I'm so glad about you. I love every child, and I really love all children who are willing to say to me they know the Bible stories. Great. Really, really appreciate. Now, What happens in the story of the Good Samaritan? Can you tell me? Anybody? 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 What happens in the story of the Good Samaritan?
Someone got hurt, and there were 3 men. Then they tried to help him, but they didn't got time, so they just walked. But then a guy on a donkey came and helped him, and he spent his money to go somewhere and get him rest.
Beautiful. Thank you, Hannah. I really love that. It is. Can anybody tell me in which letter of Saint Paul the story of Good Samaritan is written in? In which letter of Saint Paul that story is mentioned? Anybody? Nobody? Come on. The children in Austin Pali are very good. You are the guys who bag all the prizes in the competitions. I know that. You are the champions. You should know that. Come on. In which letter of St. Paul the story of Good Samaritan is mentioned? Well, now I know why you are quiet. You know that I was tricking you, right? I know. It is not in the letter of St. Paul. It is in the Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 10, verses 25 through 37. That is where the story of the Good Samaritan is written. I'll tell you a little about the story of the Good Samaritan. And the story is like, once upon a time, there was a man who was going from Jerusalem to Jericho. Look at that, from Jerusalem to Jericho. And Jericho is the place where all the bad people were living. You know, Jericho was where all the bad things happen. And Jerusalem is where the temple of God is. And there, on his way, he was beaten up by robbers. Very badly beaten up. And then what happens? He was robbed and he was left half dead. By chance, a priest came on the road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Likewise, a Levite, when he arrived at the place, came and looked and passed by the other side. Think, we are stranded on the road, on highway. What is the highway that passes through Austin? I forgot. Can anybody help me? I-35.
I-35.
I-35. Very good, very good. You know, it has been 14 years and I forgot. I-35. You are stranded on the roadside I-35. Nobody came and hit you. You're okay. And you have no one to help you. It is night. Do you expect somebody to help you? Yes, of course you will. And in case your phone battery is dead and you don't have a charger with you, you're stranded, literally. You want somebody to help you. And if people are not helping you, is that heaven? No. If somebody is stranded and literally needing help, how do you help that person? Do you want to stop your car and go out to help them? No, don't do that. My dear beloved children, I'm telling you, do not do that. Instead, you should help them by calling 911. Okay, all of you hear me? Call 911 and tell the police that there is a person who is stranded on the road and they need help, and they will come and help them, because the police are better equipped to help people than we. Probably they may need medical assistance, and they can come with all the necessary help. So do not go out and help them. Rather, you call 911 to help them. Okay? All of you got it? What do you do? Tell me. Call?
911.
Come on.
Call 911.
911. Look at that. Yeah, I like it. Now call 911. That is what they have to do. But those days, the police was not there. Those days, the fire was not there. So people used to go out and help each other. But instead of calling 911, the priest walked by. Instead of calling the fire, the Levite walked by. And instead of calling any local to help them, all these people walked by. And this man was there, stranded on the road, dying. And a Samaritan comes. He took him to the nearest inn. And he told the innkeeper that when I come back, I'll give you more money. He took oil from his baggage, poured the oil onto his wounds, and tied it up, gave the bandage, the first aid, and told the innkeeper, help him. If you need more money when I come back, I'll give you. This is heaven. My dearly beloved children, the fathers are telling us that this man who is badly beaten up is the humanity. The Satan has beaten up the humanity through sin. The Satan has beaten up the humanity through sin. And he is half dead. The human being is half dead. The Old Testament priests came. They were supposed to help the human beings, humanity. They were not able to help them. The Levites came. They were supposed to help humanity. They could not. Then comes the Son of Man, Jesus Christ. He is rejected, neglected, and fought against like the Samaritans. You know, today and last Sunday, we listened to Gospels where the Pharisees, the scribes, and the Sadducees, they were fighting with Jesus. You heard that, right? Did you hear that? The Pharisees and the scribes, they were fighting with Jesus. Why did you do that? Why have you done this? You should not have been doing this. This is not how a good person is. He was keeping on being attacked. And that's why he is being treated like a Samaritan, a rejected person. And then, what does he do? He takes oil from his bag, pours that oil into the human being who is beaten up, where the wounds are. He's putting bandages around. He is trying to heal him. And then he took him to the inn. And which is the inn? The fathers say the inn is the church. The inn is the church. And he told the innkeeper, take care of this human being. In case you spend something extra, I will give you when I come back. Now, who is the innkeeper? If inn is the church, who is the innkeeper? You should be able to say that.
The priest.
The archon. The archon is the innkeeper. And you all are assigned to the archon, and the archon is loving you because of that. Dearly beloved, the story does not end here. It goes even further down. He poured oil into the wounds, right? What is oil? In Greek, olive oil is called eleon. Can anybody tell me how do you say olive oil in Greek? Eleon. Did you hear me? Eleon. You say that along with me. Eleon. Come on. All the children. Eleon.
Eleon.
Very good. I like it. That is what I want always. Eleon. And do you remember any other word where these words ele comes in our prayer?
Eleison.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now I know, Acha, why your children are so great. I don't know how you do that. I really would like you to come to my parley and stay here for about 2 weeks to teach us all these. Kyrie eleison. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm proud of you. Eleon means olive oil. Eleison means also mercy upon us. Kyrie means, O Lord. That means the word oil and mercy are so closely together. Whenever we show kindness to somebody, we are pouring oil onto their wounds, just like Jesus did with this Samaritan. Do I make sense? Am I making sense? Mercy is like pouring olive oil onto the wound. So when we are merciful to each other, we are doing what the Good Samaritan has done. That means we are healing others, showing mercy, pouring mercy. When we pray Kyrie eleison, we are asking God to pour the love, the olive oil upon the wounds that we are experiencing. And my dearly beloved children, this is what heaven is. In other words, the place where we have to see heaven on earth is our hearts, our homes, our parley, and our community. 4 places: our hearts, our home, our parley, and our community. That is how we make heaven on earth. Then, even if we are going to be in hell, the devil will deliver us from hell to heaven. Lucifer will personally come and will plead for you to St. Peter at the door of heaven. Let me conclude with this question to you. Do you want to go to heaven? Do you want to go to heaven? Come on, all of you can unmute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I would have loved. Yeah, speak up. Come on. That is what I want to hear. Stand on the mic and speak. Is there anybody who does not want to go to heaven?
No. No.
No?
No.
All of you want to go to heaven? Did you
Yes.
hear my stories?
Yes.
Did you understand what I said?
Yes.
Yes.
Speak up. Come on. I love you all. Did you understand what I said?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
good. Very good.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Therefore, Heaven is where people listen to each other. Heaven is where people make others comfortable. Heaven is where people give the other a chance to listen to. And heaven is a place where hugs and kisses happen. Hell is a place where people do not want to look at each other. Hell is a place where no one looks into the other's eyes. Hell is a place where people hide stuff. Hell is a place where people hate each other. Hell is a place where people call each other names. Hell is a place where people ridicule each other. Hell is a place where people fight with each other. Therefore, during this Lenten time, let us make heaven on earth. 4 places. Now, all of you, enumerate those 4 places with me. Number 1, where do you have to make heaven first?
In our heart.
In ourselves. Number 2, in our house. Number 3, in our
church.
in our church. Number 4,
Community.
in our community. And that is how we pour the eleon, the olive oil of mercy and compassion. And let me conclude with this statement. Isn't this what Jesus did? You know, after Easter, we sing a song.
Yes.
Have you heard this song ever? Have you ever heard this song?
Yes.
Yes. The sweet fragrance of Holy Muron, that is the fragrant eleon flowing from the wounds of Jesus. That is what we listen. That is what we smell. And that is the fragrance that we want to give to others. May this Lent help us to deliver everyone the beautiful fragrance of the resurrected Jesus Christ. Let us forgive each other. Let us love each other. Let us be kind to each other. Let us listen to each other. Let us be Christ-like. Wish you all a wonderful, blessed rest of the Holy Lent. And thank you, Achan, and the managing committee members, everyone, for giving me the opportunity to interact with the Sunday school children. Thanks all parents, and thank you very much for your patience. Love you all.
Thank you so much, Acha.